give out. I let love, I let go, I release, and I know I forgive, I receive, I can feel, I believe, I am healed, I am whole, I release, I know. No need to push, no need to try, no need to worry or question why. Surrender, let go, release, and know.
Thousands of years ago, the Buddha taught you are what you think.
I am love. I am peace.
I am joy.
I am silly.
I am powerful.
So a modern philosopher coined the phrase that you are what you eat.
I am organic vanilla ice cream.
I'm chia seeds.
I'm a good, strong cup of coffee in the morning.
I am mac and cheese.
Today, like millions of my human sisters and brothers on planet Earth,
I'm becoming mindful about what I eat, what I think.
But lately, I've been thinking about this.
I watch what I eat, but do I watch what I watch?
What about what I feed my mind, my heart, and my soul?
At Conscious Good, we believe you are what you watch.
you are what you watch.
Anytime you watch something that causes your soul to hurt, there's an impact.
So what's the answer?
At Conscious Good,
We think it's about feeding our minds.
The same way that we feed our bodies.
With nourishing choices.
After all, if media can have a negative influence on behavior, it can also have a positive one.
It's been proven that if we watch TV shows and videos about people helping others,
Cooperating and being generous.
It can actually influence us to be more altruistic and kind to one another.
Talk about paying it forward.
So next time you sit down to watch your comfort movie,
Consider how you will feel afterwards. Will you be happy and energized?
that's because maybe, just maybe,
What you watch
Read
And listen to.
matters.
I am what I watch. So I watch what I watch.
I am nourished.
I am inspired.
I am enlightened.
I am a celebration.
I am conscious.
I am conscious.
I am conscious.
I am good.
I am good.
I am good.
We.
We
We are.
We are
conscious good.
Everyone wishes to live their best life. We experiment with various ways to achieve that, whether it is through study, competing, finding a partner, working hard, or admiring someone who inspires you. It is the quality of our inner being that does it all, or grapples with fulfilling life's calling. For the past 20 years, the Brahma Kumaris in Washington, D.C. has been a space for any and everyone to enter into and experience one's soul calling. From 1997, the center opened in an old rickety house on Georgia Avenue in Silver Spring, Maryland, where cars and trucks that passed by would shake the space. But when you were inside, it was a peaceful and powerful sanctuary for all who visited. Since then, over 2,500 events, 17 city and nationwide initiatives, 21 awards, 2 meditation museums have served youths, senior citizens, entrepreneurs, scientists, authors, women, interfaith, the disabled, environment, small businesses, arts seekers, and even leaders. Millions of lives have been served, either through social media, the popular America Meditating radio show, or through exhibitions, lectures, partnerships, and programs held in the meditation museums and centers. We look at 20 years of service as a continued journey of love, courage, wisdom, and determination with friends from diverse backgrounds and thought, who believe a better world is possible when we make ourselves better human beings. Meditation is an important tool that helps us to gain greater clarity, insights, and inner power so we can make healthy choices and amplify our capacity to live a full life. In times of great anxiety, insecurity, and fear, meditation is an essential practice for everyone to gain stability and inner strength. Just look at what a few dedicated, purposeful, and kind group of committed people have been able to achieve in 20 years. Thanks to everyone who have supported us along the way. And thanks in advance to those who believe in our work and power of intent. Brahma Kumaris Meditation Museums, where peace is inside. Vibrations of love. And some say love is a verb. But much deeper than that, Love is a vibration. It is that energy that stirs the soul and opens up the heart. Vibrations of love call out to the divine that connects us with the beauty of life and the oneness of it all. I need not to say it with words, although it is always nice to hear, but greater still is to feel it. Vibrations of love lift me higher, and I fill the empty spaces within the soul. It is the divine in its purest essence. It is me at the height of my being. I am vibrations of love. Om Shanti, everyone. Welcome to your next normal. I'm your host, Sister Jenna. What a weekend we've had. I'm actually still trying to recover from all the festivities of our Diwali celebrations, the release of the Diwali dance short film. And I have to tell you that my joy came from just witnessing Aditi's joy and all of your joys as well. Thanks for all the phone calls, the text messages, the comments, the emails. It really was a sweet experience. And we're still editing. Actually, we kind of really forced in that editing so that we could be ready for Saturday. And so hopefully by tomorrow or day after tomorrow, we'll have the official final footage, which will get launched on See Good TV and also on Awake TV. Anyway, so I hope everyone's doing well. And sometimes, it's so interesting. You can have these days and weeks and times, you just feel like everything is eternal for you. And I know today is another day, and it's interesting because I feel like I've stepped into the unlimited. And this is not to say that we're not used to these opportunities, these events, these scenarios, these situations. I was talking to our wonderful sister, Dr. Ambati, and she did a wonderful program for physicians last week, and she was talking about the launch on Saturday and how much joy, and that she hadn't moved her body so much and how happy she was. And she and I were talking about not even COVID could stop us here, the Brahma Kumaris Meditation Museum family, from doing any kind of a service. And I think what that
proves to me and to many of us is the depth of our relationships and the understandings of our strengths and our limits, the ability to love through the limits. You know, sometimes it becomes a little, testy, but the depth of the value and the respect and the honoring of the soul is there. And I will say the reason why, it's because of Baba. When you have the awareness that each and every one of us, we come from the source, we come from the supreme, then it's natural for us to begin to look at the other creation with that respect, with that sense of belonging, with that sense of knowing, with that sense of safety. And I think that why so many of us struggle with not only understanding the power of relationships and building good relationships, but the biggest test in relationships is sustaining them. You can find a relationship in a second. You can create it and you can make it go. But the hardest thing to do in a relationship is to sustain it and really travel the long haul. And that's something I've witnessed with our daddies, our senior yogis and the Brahma Kumaris. They've known each other for 80 years. They've been friends for over 80 years. And so many of our other, peers or teachers, when you look at them, inside they have some folks have their little cliques and their little, close friendships. They've been friends for 40 years, 50 years, working together on the field of service. They've gone through the best of days, the worst of days, but they stay bonded. Why? Because of Baba. And I feel that why we're witnessing such an opportunity to challenge our relationships, which is whether you are Democrat, Republican, black or white, rich or poor, you're being challenged right now because the universe is offering you an opportunity to connect to the source. I think a lot of people, if they actually experience the connection to Baba and they're having that deep experience of love from God, it'll be only natural for them to recognize, you are my brother. It's just going to be a natural tendency. In the BKs, you cannot know somebody, but just in your Om Shanti and your Drishti, you've met another soul friend throughout the cycle of time. You don't remember where or when, but it doesn't matter. It's in the meeting of Om Shanti that the relationship and the friendship gets rekindled. Whether you went off to some other birth somewhere else or to some other country, language, maybe even went into another religion. Because the soul is what's on the journey. And as the soul gains new experiences, the soul forms the matter based on the experiences in the soul. So imagine if you're having experiences that are based on, let's say, left, and then you're born left and you have experiences while you're living in your left, and then you're going through all these motions and you start to enjoy the right, and then you're born and then you go to the right, and then you're going through that experience, and then all of a sudden you realize, I want to live in the middle, and then you're born with a birth where you live in the middle. The soul will keep manifesting unique situations, events, circumstances, relationships as a result of the deepest recordings in your soul. And the irony to all of that is that the energy keeps changing. We keep changing. They said on Diwali, which was Saturday, that at 2 o'clock that day, all you had to do was sit in deep remembrance for about 15 minutes to manifest what you really want, and that it would be manifested. I'm now remembering what I sat with to manifest at 2 o'clock on Diwali. And imagine if all the planets then, if all the planets are collected and all the planets are in alignment, and somehow mystics and astrologers are telling us that that's a good time at 2 o'clock to do this and things will manifest. Just imagine what's happening to us at a soul level individually when I'm with my spouse or with my children or with friends. What are my thoughts? And what are these thoughts manifesting in my life? Food for thought. Speaking to somebody the other day who got divorced after 10 years, and there was devastation, there was a sense of grief, there was a sense of loss. It was traumatic. There was a lot of infidelity and abuse in the marriage. But I asked this particular person, did you ever have the thought in the 10 years that you were married, while you were washing the dishes or walking from one room to another room, did the thought ever occur, I want to leave this man, I want a divorce, I want this to finish? And she actually for the first time realized that yes, she actually manifested her divorce because she was thinking about it. She fed the thought about it. But unknowingly to her, did she ever expect it would have actually happened? But it did. The whole thing about building relationships and understanding them, it has so much to do with what you're thinking. I have actually experienced individuals in relationships where the one person is having an affair and the other person doesn't physically know of anything, has no physical proof, but emotionally and psychically, the soul is picking up her partner's deception. Even though he says everything is fine, I just have a lot of stress at work, I just don't want to talk about it, it's too much. She's actually really sensing in deep in her bones, he's cheating, or vice versa, she's cheating. All because of a thought. Now there's no proof. But something is breaking up that relationship. They're becoming more and more distant from each other. Then they're allowing the excuses to take place. They can say it's the children, I have to take care of the children. They go into this particular incognito subtle shell of their own minds, and they begin to stimulate or process these thoughts about what they think is happening to the other person, which is related to them in the relationship, and unknowing to them. That energy of thought is breaking the relationship. And not for once did either of those partners think, but we're children of God. That means we belong together. That means I need to talk with you. I need to work this out. We need to understand what it is that I'm going through or whatever it is we are going through. Because of our separation from our relationship with the divine, we start to build the tendency of becoming quite selfish. Meaning, what's in it only for me? Well, so what? You know, he's like this, she does this. Well, he doesn't pay me any attention. She doesn't give me any attention. Well, you know, we haven't spoken in months, and so it's okay for me to have this affair with you. We're not really connected anymore. We give ourselves and each other a list of excuses as to why we have the permission to cheat ourselves first, to cheat our loved ones second, and to cheat our humanity. And all of that is because of our disconnect from Baba. If I'm connected to Baba, I won't cheat you. It won't be possible. Whatever thought, word, or choice I make in Baba's remembrance, it will be based on not only my own honor as a person, but it will be natural for me to honor you. And this is what we need in this particular time. We need an awakening, we need a redirection, we need to be replanted or rebirthed, to be connected to Source, to be connected to Baba, so that we can raise the vibrations and stop cheating ourselves and cheating our loved ones. And the most painful thing is when we start to cheat our children, because they can see mom and dad aren't doing so well, or mom and mom, or dad and dad, however it might be. The children can say they're not doing so well, and the children can feel the fact that the relationship is coming apart. And then they go off in a mental space wondering what to do, how to manage it. Now let's take a look at what it might be like if you decide to be open to having all relationships with the divine. Making God your mother, your father, your beloved, your teacher, your friend, your business partner, your guru, your guide. So imagine if you made the supreme energy your world, and your spouse or your partner or your person also had all relationships with the Supreme One. Mother, father, teacher, guru, guide, beloved, best friend. And when you both would come together, what do you think would be the quality of your relationship? What would be your understanding of each other? What would be the vibrations? You would only have good wishes and pure feelings for each other. And so when there are good wishes and pure feelings, the highest thoughts for each other, you have not only understood the power in relationship, but you're sustaining your relationship, and you're building it more solid moment by moment. Let's have a meditation on good wishes and pure feelings. And let's go into what it would feel like to really just have this practice of maintaining good wishes and pure feelings in relationships. Take a deep breath. Exhale. Inhale again. Exhale. One more time. Breathe out.
Our world and my relationship to it. Sometimes, when I think of our world, it seems a little large, impersonal. $5.5 billion souls inhabit our world. And yet each one of those souls is an individual. Each has their own life, as I do. Each has a heart, as I do. And each has a place, as I do, in our world. Perhaps it's a little too easy to think in generalizations. To see the world as a nameless, faceless crowd of people. And then it becomes just a little too easy to be harsh or judgmental, intolerant. But when I think of our world as a planet full of beautiful, creative individuals, it's so much easier to have an attitude of good wishes, pure feelings for those with whom I share this planet. When I think of my own personal relationships, the circle is quite small. But when I consider that each individual has a circle of relationships, it's easy to imagine how they all interconnect. One large family of individuals. This is my relationship to our world. And in the form of a beautiful light, I send my good wishes to each individual.
There's something in the silence that heals division. I don't mean a silence which is an absence of expressing what I'm going through or how I'm feeling, but the silence that puts a pause on wasteful thinking, negative thinking, delusional thinking, that kind of inner silence. It doesn't mean that I won't think about, well, what do we need to do to maybe repair our rift or make amends or discuss what is needed here. But when you're in that silent space with yourself and you're able to first reach a place where you are not having any waste or negative thoughts, at that time you approach the relationship and have a discussion. Because I can guarantee you, when you sit with a relationship that might be having a difference of opinion and each one is holding a waste thought for the other, it's just going to be a waste of time. You're not going to get through to them. They're not going to get through to you. And no one's going to change. It's just going to be a continuation of the same thing and maybe even exacerbated, where it just amplifies because you leave even more frustrated than when you actually sat to work things through. So imagine for a while, no, that you choose to deepen your relationship with Source. And as a result of the depth of that relationship, your relationship with others come from that intention in that place. Even if there's a difference, somehow you will come back to yourself and come from the real part of you to see what you need to share in this relationship to make it better. I've noticed for myself, the only time my relationships seem to take a bad turn or a sour note is when I develop attachment. And my attachment starts to direct my thoughts to a place where I'm looking at what is the defect or what is wrong or what the person is doing wrong in the relationship. And it's almost as if the attachment in the thinking creates this wall, and then the soul forgets all the good things that the soul actually recognizes in the relationship. So we have to understand what is it that creates a division in relationships. What creates a separation? What creates conflict? What creates a lack of trust in relationships? It starts with your thinking and the interpretation or the impression that you hold in the mind for that person. It's the most dangerous thing a human being can do to another human being, is to hold a judgmental, negative or waste thought about a person that they especially live with and expect a heavenly experience. It just doesn't calculate, and it never will. At some point in time, it will come to some fruition because that energy unattended inside of the consciousness will gain momentum, because each time the person shows up to confirm the tendency that you're thinking, it carries more depth and it starts to grow and it starts to build. Which is why when people don't address their issues with each other, it becomes the grounds of separation. It becomes the ground of not just separation, but it also can become the grounds of actually the person doing something against its value, against its worth. There are times in which you've been in a relationship where, let's say when you were a teenager and you felt like your mother or your father didn't trust you or didn't value you, so you decided to just confirm that they don't trust or value you. So you went out, you snuck out of the house, you partied, you drank, you come in, and they might have caught you, and then they're yelling at you, and you're like, well, what's the big deal? You don't trust me anyway. So even holding the waste thought for the person feeds the energy in that person to confirm that feeling. One of the things that I've shared with you all very openly is that I don't even like to explain or speak about Sister Gita in the context of that she's not really remembering or that maybe she has this. Sometimes I have to, like if I take her out and she's going up to strangers and telling them how cute they are and trying to hug them and tap them, I mean, I know they might know, but I have to restrain her, you know. But deep in my heart, when I even have to say, you know, she's struggling with this particular phase of her life, I don't even like to think it. And sometimes I wonder if it's just me being in denial. But on an energetic level, what I'm doing is I don't want to put the energy in her karmic field by thinking she has Alzheimer's or she's got dementia or anything like that. I just want to say she's entertaining. I mean, I don't know what other word I can use other than Sister Gita is very entertaining. I just want you to know that, you know. So just be aware that if she comes out, she might do these things and she might do that. And of course, when she comes out, she'll come out with her dolls. She'll come out with her Christmas lights around her neck. She'll come out, she wears this little crown with little lights that goes ping, ping, ping. She'll have one pants up, one sock down. She'll have one sock off, one sock off. Now she's been wearing her clothes reversed and she's styling it. And I look at her and I go in and out too. So please don't think I'm doing this with her every day. There are times that I just go, I don't want to accept this is where she is. Because that energy will go in her. I want to see her healthy and making the impossible possible. And I think I struggle because when she doesn't do that and she is entertaining, I find my ignorance kicks in and I go, what's wrong with you? Stop that. And then I have to catch myself and go, wait a minute. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes we just really have to use enough spiritual wisdom in order to navigate through these very intriguing opportunities to relate to one another. So anyway, I hope today's sharing is making sense, and I want to give a big shout out to Asmita, who came by yesterday with her family. It was a wonderful treat, and it was just so lovely to meet her and her husband and her two beautiful boys who ate ice cream and food, and poor little Happy was just absolutely petrified by all their love they were trying to give her. She kept running from them to run into my lap. But again, you know, you meet each other, you have these pure connections with souls because they're God's child. And I know when a child of God, when their behavior seems like they're walking around as if they've been orphaned and nobody loves them and nobody cares for them, it can be very testing. You know, it can be testing to say the least, but not impossible, but it can be testing. And I can't necessarily say that I as a soul energetically have reached that level of embodied love that it just doesn't matter. But I am making effort to get to that place. That the love that God flows through the personality no longer has any blocks. That means I can't see your defects. I can only see your strengths and work only with that. But I don't, and I will say that I know I have that quality, but there are times that I get hiccups. And when those hiccups come, they kind of halt me, and I have to revisit, who am I? What am I doing? What's my purpose? Who do I belong to? Who does everyone belong to? And then get myself back on track. And I think that's the work that we all have to do. If we want to really understand the value of relationships, have a very, very intimate, deep relationship with the divine. And it will be easy for you to really accept others in your life, despite the race, their race, their religion, their political affiliation. I passed somebody's house that had all of these posters and flags and what do you call it, you know, the stakes on the ground of one of the presidential runners, and they were having it all there and trying to prove to the world that this is your president to vote for. And as I passed the house next to it had other signs, and it was a sign of another president, but they also had the rainbow-colored flag. And I thought as I drove by and I looked at these two homes side by side next to each other, I was just hoping that I hope they weren't having waste or negative thoughts with each other. Because I could only imagine what it must feel like when they go outside to get the newspaper. It was a very interesting scene. Anyway, let's say hello to everybody online today before we go into our next meditation. Minakshi, Om Shanti. And Asmita, it was so great to see you. You're on tonight. Thank you. Denise, Om Shanti. Very lovely to see you. And Nikki, Louise, Samantha, Blessed Life, Lynn, Praveen, Om Shanti. Kailash and Ranju Nagashri. Carleen, nice to see you. Manhar, Ramila Patel. Thank you for joining us. Alika, yes, you were such a wonderful dancer. It was fantastic. Nikki Dicky, Devyani, Bryn, and Grace, lovely to have you in the advanced classes now. For those who have taken the Raj Yoga meditation course online, it's been really great. And I hope you've been enjoying the advanced classes too on Sundays. And as we go along, they will keep increasing based on your decision if you're comfortable with that. Erica G, Susanna, Om Shanti, Shobha, all of you, Annette Henry, and on Facebook, big warm welcome to all of you. Glad that you could make it and to be a part of the community. Relationships are so vital. The same stairway going up is the same stairway going down when it comes to your relationships, and we need them. You know, it's okay to be on your own, but we really need one another. We need each other more than we even know. When you do it by yourself, it becomes very, very hard. But when you've got each other, it's like, I don't know, it's easy. It's easy. So Aster Bismonte, Om Shanti. Thank you for your beautiful emojis. Ravi, Om Shanti. Arlene, Sudha, Mohan, Enid from Hollywood. Carmen Monorero, Om Shanti. Nancy O'Neill, thank you. Nice to have you in the advanced classes. And Lucian, Om Shanti too, and welcome. So let us think about how we can actually create, it's not even just lasting relationships as such, but relationships that matter, you know, relationships that have significance. There are people that I feel such a deep resonance with, and maybe we see each other once every 2 or 3 years. And when we connect with each other, it's as if we never missed each other. It's as if we're always there. And that, to me, is something very mystical and very powerful. Yes, all of my friends have a deep relationship with God. I have to say that I don't believe I know anyone intimately who's an atheist. I don't necessarily think I do. I've got friends who are agnostics. I have friends who are from the Islamic tradition, Hinduism, they're Hindus. I've got folks who are Catholic, Christians, Buddhist, Jewish, rich, poor, black, white, Asian, whatever. It never came between the power of our relationship. And there's nothing more powerful than being able to just turn to someone, especially when you need them the most, you know? So it's one of the most beautiful things that we can inherit, are good relationships. Let's have a nice, deep, deep meditation now on really going into this whole aspect that if there are any relationships, I do have a handful of people that still, when I am in their presence, my innocence isn't there. I'm a little bit not me. Or it's just I'm picking up their energy and I still have to rise above it. It's not to say I don't love or care for them. I do. But there's something that I'm sensing when I come into their presence. My love isn't high enough to transform what I'm feeling. So we all have to work through our deepening of relationship. We all have to deepen our relationship with Baba, with God, in order for us to really value the sweetness of beautiful relationships. So let's take this time and relax for a good 10 minutes. Good 10 minutes. And sink into where your healing needs to take place when it comes on to you and another. And hopefully by tonight, you'll feel like you're okay. And when you think of the person, you can give them your good wishes and pure feelings. And that it really counts. Let's take a deep breath.
Imagine that your body is being held tightly, so tightly it can't move. As you relax each and every part of your body, you will become free, released. This body will let you go. But first, you must let go. End the struggle and enjoy freedom. Start at the feet. Just let them go. With every breath, let go another part of the body. The legs, let go of the hips, let go of the stomach, the chest, let go of the hands, the arms, the shoulders, the neck, and the jaw. Let go of the scalp, and the forehead, let go of the face. That's it. Just let it all be loose and relaxed. Even if something tries to pull your thoughts back to the body, let it go. Be free from worry. Be beyond even caring, like a child, a very young baby. Be free of responsibility and relax. Experience the flow of breath. As each breath comes and goes, my thoughts dissolve into space. I allow time to pass. Let go of thoughts, floating freely, completely free and light. Letting go of even my name, just light, just the awareness that is me. Moving deeper into quietness. Stillness. Nothing to fear. Nothing I need to hang on to. With each passing moment, I feel the lightness of my mind. Moving towards the light. Towards my original nature of peace. I move beyond all boundaries into the open, towards the beautiful, bright light. Into a world of peace. Silence. Rest. from a distance, watching the breath coming and going. I prepare to return back from the silent, open space. Back to the awareness of my body. Calm, relaxed, filled with peace.
Om Shanti. So I hope that tonight was useful, productive, inspiring, uplifting, truthful, empowering, and that you found some answers today. Somewhere, somehow, something has percolated for you that can take you just one more step forward, just that next level, just that next step ahead. Have a wonderful evening, lots of love, lots of pure feelings, and I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow's a special segment with Karen Drucker. That's the song and the music that you hear playing at the beginning and at the end of every Next to Normal. So we're going to have music therapy with Karen Drucker tomorrow. So hopefully you can join us and also tell your friends. Have a wonderful evening. Om Shanti. Take care. Sister Jenna from American Meditating Radio. I hope you've been enjoying Wiseish, which you can get live on Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube from 8:30 a.m. to 8:45. But you can also get it on demand 24/7. It's going to be your power boost for the morning. It's your daily dose for the soul. It's just going to encourage you to make the day that much more valuable. So join us. Looking forward to seeing you.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, glorious, my glorious, my glorious.